Good evening, everyone. Today we got the Axial Capra four-wheel steer out. I'm just going to give you a little bit of a rundown on it, let you know what's going on with it. We got a Reese 422 HD V2 front servo, still got the stock servo on the rear. We got the J Concepts ruptures with the 1.9 trail wheels. We added a tail light to it, stock headlights, light bar, aftermarket shocks. See, we got some brass hubs up front, portal covers, down at the bottom, we got the SSD. I'm not for sure which drive shafts these are, but they're much longer because I had to extend the wheelbase out. And I did that due to a 3-gear. I changed out the regular Capra transmission and put a 3-gear transmission in it using a spare times hobby skid plate. We got a excuse me, we got a Castle, not for sure on the KV, I think it's a 2850 KV censored motor, and the Micro Mamba crawler is what we're using for the ESC. But it is four-wheel steer. Got front, and then I have the rear set up on this dial. So for video purposes, it's going to be a little rough for me to be able to show you guys four-wheel steer. And if I'd quit hitting the throttle, we could get this started. Okay. But yeah, I was just going to show you my Capra four-wheel steer. I actually bought this, as the kit truck, as the four-wheel steer. And it is the best truck that I have. The only one that comes close to competing with it would be the other Capra that has been converted into, frame or ladder rail chassis. But this truck does really well. I think the wheelbase is actually, instead of the 12.8, I think it's got like 13.5-inch wheelbase, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember correctly. And these J Concepts ruptures, I know they're not going to be qualified as legal for any Class 3 year, which this would be a Class 3 truck, or an unlimited truck actually, due to it being a Capra. But these tires won't be allowed for anything because, they're not, well, unlimited class, I'd say they would be. But they won't be available for like Class 2 or anything like that because, for one, they're, I think, like 0.2 of an inch bigger than what the regular 1.9s are, or 4.75s. And with this 3-gear, I think I have a, should be a 13-tooth pinion, and then a 56-tooth spur gear. So that's all the speed it's got. That's literally everything it's got. But the low speed control could be better. I'm looking at getting the new Hobby Wing Fusion 2300 kV, I do believe it is. The same thing as the Spectrum version. But I have two of the 1800 kVs. I got one in a trail truck, and then I have one in the other Capra, and I really enjoy it. But I just want the higher kV for the 3-gear transmission to give it a little bit of wheel speed. This truck does very well. I mean, half the time you really don't even have to use the four-wheel steer if you're just, cruising around or just trying to have fun. But there is one spot I'd like to show that I usually do use the four-wheel steer, if we get to it. But the low speed control is actually pretty decent. It's not bad at all, really. I had this motor and ESC combo in it when it was still the Capra transmission, and it was awful. and I got into a Capra. Yeah, it was custom Capra builds or something like that on Facebook. Well, I got into it, and I saw everybody doing a three-gear swap on their Capras, and I was like, well, I might try that, see how that works. So I tried it, and I'm hands down probably the best mod that you can do to a Capra. I wanted to do it with my other Capra, the one with the Power Wagon body, but I just never got around to it. I have the skid plate to do it. I just have not got the transmission. Let's see. Let's get a little bit better angle on this one. This truck actually gets. Sometimes I use four-wheel steer through here, but we're going to see if we can make it without. I mean, oh, and I forgot to mention, it's got the Proline dual stage foams in it. So with these tires being a little bit taller than what the dual stage foams are, you got a little bit more squish than you normally would with a normal 4.75. I cannot remember the exact specs on these. I'm sure somebody else knows. But this, this front kind of dips down. I usually use four-wheel steer to try to keep myself up. Oh, there we go. Seems like we didn't need it after all. Now this spot right here, this little V-notch, I mean, it's a little bit bigger than what the camera does it justice. But before I started filming, I was just playing around, and I actually got up it with this. But I did use the four-wheel steer. I'm actually gonna switch that over. Probably after this video, I'm gonna switch it over to a 3-position, just like 25% left, 25% right. You know how it is when you get it from stock. When you get it from stock, it's on a 3-position switch. You know, you hit up on your controller, and it takes it, I do believe it's left, and it's in increments of 25, 50, and 75, or 100, my bad. And I'd like to have that set up again. I actually really enjoyed that setup, but this was the quickest and easiest way for me to set it up on the GT5. But let's see if we can get this without four-wheel steer. I don't think it's gonna go. See if I can set the camera up to be able to do this. We'll give you kind of a good angle. Let's see if we can. I'll review this footage and see if it's worth anything. Turn it all the way in. I made it up early. There we go. Let's see. Let's try to get a restart. There we go. There we go. And there we got it. I don't know if it caught that, but I believe it did. I don't have any type of fancy you know, phone holders or, you know, tripods or anything like that. But we made do with a stick. I used that stick. So we made do. Hopefully it got pretty decent footage on that. I'm gonna upload it anyways, because I may change my mind later on, but as of right now, I just want it to be raw content, you know. See the mistakes that people make, you know, and just roll with it. I mean, you can't make a perfect video without cuts and edits and everything else. And of course I'd like to edit and, you know, get the bad stuff out or whatever, but you know, the majority of it that a lot of people cut out, it's really not that big of a deal to me. I don't mind seeing it in videos. You know, somebody messes up, you know, you're only human. You can't really control a stutter or, you know, mix up with some of your words or something. And there goes a cat. I don't know whose cat that is. Oh, there's a person up there. Okay. Yeah, I live on a, as you can see, I live on a mountain. This is a dirt road that goes behind my house. My house is down there. But I live on a mountain, so it's hard to tell what you'll see. But I really love this truck. I love the looks of it. I didn't get the red cage. A little bit too flashy for me. I just like the red panels. But this truck is buggy, whatever you want to call it. It's honestly amazing. It's the actually a little backstory on it. The Capra was the first 10 scale truck that I ever got. A couple years ago, the first truck I ever got was an SCX 24, which I had RCs in the past when I was younger, but nothing to, you know, the extent of what I have now. So the, you know, the regular Capra 1.9 was my first ever 10 scale RC. Well, the Power Wagon that you see now in one of my videos that you saw, that was my first RC. I broke it down and put a Spare Times Hobby chassis and all that just because I got bored with the Capra. Well, when they brought this out, it kind of gave me a, I don't know, a little flashback to when I had the Capra. So I wanted another one, and I always wanted to make mine four-wheel steer, but I never did. So they came out with literally the truck that I wanted all along, so I had to pick it up. The next thing I'm really wanting is the SCX6, which I just got the Hammer Ray, so we'll have to wait a little while on it. But I'd really like to have it. I've watched a lot of videos on it, and it's an amazing truck. I actually went to my local hobby shop and they had it sitting on a shelf, and it's see, there we go, speech mess up. It's absolutely amazing. But let's end the video off as I ran on about everything else. As you can tell, it doesn't have much wheel speed, but it's a good test to see the drag brake. There we go. It's got a, I can't even remember what I got it set up on. It's all on the computer, and I've had this system forever. I never really changed it when I put it in this truck. And there we go. It don't do good on that. It doesn't have the wheel speed for anything. It'll usually go up this one over here. I'll try to give you a little bit of a kind of view of it. Very rooty. It's a little bit steep. It's not terrible. And it is wet. We hit a monsoon last night. And there we go. Maybe. I had to back down. There we go. I mean, these J Concepts ruptures are probably the best all-around tire that I've ever had. Now the crawler TAs, those, I'd like to do a tire comparison because there's really some good ones out there. I haven't tried every one of them, but you know, for what I have, I'm probably going to put the ruptures, J Concepts ruptures at the top. After that, it's probably going to be the crawler TAs and then the Hyraxes. I mean, they're just all fabulous tires. But these right here, now that they've broken a little bit on the rocks, I mean, they just get incredible grip. Even flat surfaces. I'm going to try to get us up to the bigger rocks. I really want to showcase those because they're really good. It can really show the ability of my trucks. But anyways, thank you guys for watching today. I know this is a little bit of an extended video compared to normal, but I just wanted to just show the Axial Capra 4-wheel steer. Probably one of my most favorite trucks that's ever been released. It's an amazing truck. 4-wheel steer. That's my most favorite part. I always wanted a 4-wheel steer truck, and now that I have it, you know, it's really cool. It's a learning curve to get used to driving, but after a while you usually get the hang of it. Well, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, everything that you can possibly do to help me out. Thank you.